G'day and welcome to the channel. So, you want to buy a Garmin inReach communicator device? Maybe you've been given one for Christmas. You don't know which plan to choose. Well, today we're going to explore the plan types. We'll try and work out which is the best plan for you based on usage. Now, previously I've covered differences between the Spot and the inReach device. Today is focused purely on the inReach. Now, if you look at the Garmin inReach website plans page, you'll see 3 plan tiers or levels and a further choice of 2 plan types. It's a pretty busy table, but just remember that all of the plans do all of the things. It's just how many you get for your money. Now, I've owned the inReach for a while now. When I first got it, I picked what I thought was the best plan. I think it was the recreation plan. After a while, I swapped plans because my actual usage wasn't matching my desired usage, thanks COVID. But now with things opening up again, why don't you understand these plans and costs in a bit more of an objective way? The 2 key features for me as an adventure rider is 1, the text messages, and 2, the track points. And so this is what I'll use for my cost comparisons. Now, first, to understand the differences of the features. So for text messages, on the safety plan, you get 10 included messages, and on recreation you get 40. Now, you can absolutely send more than that. You just pay for each message that you send. For track points, on the safety plans there are no included track points, meaning you pay for each one. On the recreation plan there are unlimited track points. There is one more level, that's the top tier plan, it's called Expedition, but for the sake of this cost comparison I'm going to ignore it because it's basically the same as a recreation plan. It's got unlimited track points, but it does have an increased frequency, so you can send them every 2 minutes instead of 10 minutes. And it also has unlimited messaging. So if either of those features are important to you, have a look at the Expedition plan. We've got 2 levels of plans. We've got safety, we've got recreation, and how much you pay for those levels depends on the plan type that you select. There's the Freedom plan type, and that lets you activate and suspend your inReach on a monthly basis. So if it's suspended, you pay nothing. If it's active, you pay a monthly fee. Now, this plan also does have a yearly plan fee as well as the monthly fees. On the other hand, there's the annual plan type, which is essentially a 12-month contract. So the device is active for the entire time, but for a lower per month cost than the Freedom plan. The annual plan does have a once-off activation fee as well as the monthly plan costs. Confused yet? Okay, so let's break down these costs. I'm going to talk about the break-even point. This is the point at which it becomes more economical to move up to a higher plan based on how you use the device. I'll be talking in Australian dollars, but I'll also include the US equivalent prices, and you'll see the break-even points work out exactly the same. Firstly, there's the plan type break-even point, and this is the Freedom versus annual choice. For the safety level, on an annual plan, the cost is $20 per month, or $240 a year. For the safety level on a Freedom plan, the cost is $25 per month. So the break-even point, how many months of Freedom plan can you get for the annual plan cost? 240 divided by 25 equals 9.6 months. So that means if you use your device for 10 months or more, it's cheaper to switch to the annual plan type. For the recreation level, on an annual plan, cost is $40 per month, $480 a year. For the recreation level on a Freedom plan, it's $55 a month. Break-even point, $480 divided by 55, so it's 8.7 months. That is, if you use your device for 9 months or more, it's going to be cheaper to switch to the annual plan type. Point to remember, that is only for the first year. Now, as I mentioned, the annual plan has a once-off activation fee, $49. The Freedom plan has a $54 yearly subscription fee paid every year. Now, because they're almost the same amount, I haven't factored them into that previous example, but in the second and subsequent years, that $54 is worth the same as 2 months on the Freedom plan and 1 month on the annual plan. It's the same costs. So you take that off the previous numbers to find the break-even point going forward, and now both plans, the break-even point is 8 months. If you use your device for 8 months or less, you stay on the Freedom plan. If you use it for more than 8 months, switch to the annual plan. Okay, now none of this takes into account the run costs, which is dependent on how you will actually use the device. And on that actual usage, I had a bit of a revelation the other week. Now, I'm currently on the Freedom Plan, and thanks to all the lockdowns, I suspended the device so it doesn't cost me anything to own it, but it also doesn't work. Now, last weekend I went for a solo ride and I thought, look, I'm only going to be out for a few hours. It's close to home, easy tracks, the weather's fine. I'm going to have my phone. I'm just not going to reactivate my inReach device, meaning I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay the $25. Now, absolutely nothing happened, but I did stop somewhere for a break, check my phone to see what was happening with messages, and what do you know? There's no service on that side of the hill. Point being, if you need this, then you need it. And if it's not active, you could be in trouble. Personally, I've decided I'm going to change to the annual plan so that I just know that it's always active. That brings me to the second break-even calculation, which are the run costs. Because I've decided I want it active all the time, I'll use the annual plan type in this example. The safety level costs $20 per month, and the recreation level costs $40 per month. So the difference in costs is what we will use to work out the break-even point. So it's $20 a month. So back to those two features I spoke about that are important to me, the messages and the track points. So for text messages, let's just reword this a little bit. For text messages, how many messages can you send on the safety plan before it's more economical to change it to the recreation plan? $20 divided by 75 cents per message equals 26 messages, plus the 10 included messages. So that's 36 messages before it's cheaper to change up to the recreation plan. Now that doesn't include preset messages, which are unlimited. So preset messages are the ones you set up on your computer before you go. It's a preset text message to preset recipients, like a check-in message or an OK message. I use that all the time, so preset messages would work for me. Text messages on this is where you type it into your phone on the go and you send it. Now for track points, how many track points can you send before it's cheaper to move up to the recreation plan? Well, again, $20, which is the difference, divided by 15 cents equals 133 track points. And since we know that those track points are sent every 10 minutes, it works out to about 22 hours of tracking. For an adventure rider, that's 22 hours, about 3 days, of trackable riding per month before you're better off on the recreation plan. So what does it all mean? It means if you use this less than 8 months of the year, you're probably better off on the Freedom plan. I mean, that might work. Maybe it's too hot where you are, or if you're snowed in for a big chunk of the year or something. But just keep in mind, if it's suspended, that not even the SOS feature is going to work on this. Now, if you're on the annual plan, you can change up and down plan levels month by month, no cost to change plans. So maybe there's months you'll only get out a few times, maybe it's too hot over summer, so you're only going to get out once or twice, in which case I'd recommend just leave it on the safety level, pay for the extra tracking as you use it. You've got 3 days per month. Then once the riding season kicks in or you've got your big trip planned, switch to the recreation level, and you've got your unlimited tracking and more messages. Look, I hope that's been helpful for you. It helped me decide what was more economical for me based on how I use it. If you want to find out more about the differences between the Spot and the inReach, check out this video. And if you want info on sat phones, have a look at this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.